Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Awesome. All right. Wow, this filled up really nice. Good morning, everybody. All right. Well, Philip did such a good job. I told him I really didn't need to tell you what we do here, but I'm excited to be your keynote. And I'm going to go through a few slides, try to do it smoothly. But we really appreciate having DistribuTECH here, and I love DistribuTECH's focus on Texas. And I'm going to tell you a couple of reasons why. It's going to be a kind of an eclectic presentation, but try to get us going. So let me get my clicker, and let's go. So I'm thanking you to come to San Antonio. We have been the energy company for this community for 158 years. Last year, we celebrated our 75th anniversary. And the interesting thing is that we really spent the year really reminding our citizens and community that we are, in fact, their company. We look at all of our customers as investors. They have paid for all of our infrastructure. We do it all. We have generation. We have a very diversified fleet of generating plants. We have gas, coal, solar, wind, nuclear. We're invested in South Texas. We also are in the transmission business, distribution business, and we actually care for customers. So we're in every spectrum, and it was an interesting year to remind the community that these assets are really their assets. San Antonio is also very special. Every city in Texas is what I would say is different. It has its own culture and vibe, and to really try to explain it to people who don't know, I always do a parody. I consider San Antonio and Austin kind of the corridor of South Texas. Austin has public power as well, very similar models, but here's kind of a little difference. Austin, their logo has been kind of keep it weird. And very proud, and it's a wonderful, beautiful city. You can do a lot of things there. What I tell people is San Antonio is secretly cool and connected. And that means a lot to us because we are very interested in getting to know our customers. We really reach out to them. We serve in the community in which we live. We are very connected to every aspect of this community, and we're really talking about where energy and technology will go to the future, and we consider ourselves our community's energy advisors. But beyond that, if you get a chance to get out and really look at the entire city, the Riverwalk is awesome. What I have here is a picture of Pearl. The Pearl is a refurbished brewery, and it is an amazing facility of retail, residential. It has a farmer's market, all those types of things. We have a myriad of things and activities. If you can stay, please stay and enjoy yourself. Whenever you get a chance to come back, come back. So that's the commercial. You heard that we have a people-first philosophy. It has what we call a business trinity. At the peak are our customers. We use our activity to be able to listen to what our customers are thinking, where they want us to go, what suggestions they have. That's our beacon. And in fact, customers are getting more and more sophisticated, and they want to jump into their energy solutions, and they want to jump out at will. So we know that we have to be flexible for them. We also believe that we have to develop our employees along the way. It used to be you come to the energy company and you would stay for decades. I'm kind of a transplant. I've been on a lot of different companies. This is the longest one, 13 years. But now when people come, they can get into really interesting aspects of where the energy business is going, but that also means we have to change our perspective. Nothing is staying the same. Everything is different. So we also have employees as our big enabler of the future, and then generally, as I said before, the community is the focus. San Antonio is a metropolitan community. Over 1.4 million people live here. There are, I think, 32 incorporated cities. CPS Energy covers all of those cities, including the one that owns us, the city of San Antonio. and then we cover 8 counties. So from an overall perspective, community has a very specific meaning and a very broad meaning, and we go back and forth as necessary. So our focus on people is our anchor. That's how we make sure that we know if we're not talking about customers, employees, or community, then we're in the wrong space to find solutions. This is an eye chart. I will make my slides available, so we won't go through all of this, but the real point is we're modest, but we try really hard to be #1. We are the largest municipally owned gas and electric utility. We have been #1 in the areas of solar and wind on many metrics inside of Texas, and we really rank high in terms of our renewable strategy broadly across the nation. We started our new energy economy, our NEE, about 5 years ago, and it is thriving. And so we have been able to attract businesses from around the nation and the globe to come here. So all of those #1s, they all mean something. Feel free to study them. Feel free, if you see anyone from CPS Energy, to ask them about it. But our goal is just to make sure that we're bringing solutions and forward thinking to this community. We believe that our citizens deserve to really be able to test what's the next thing that's happening. And so being #1 is a goal as a way to get to a solutions perspective for our customers. This is also a bit of an eye chart, but the main point of it, if you see, in 1970, we weren't a diversified entity. All of our generation came from gas, and I always say that was one of our beginning or most important telenovelas. We were completely gas, everything was great, we understood it, we had locked in some great pricing, but our supplier had not locked in their source prices, and they sought to break their contract with us, and bills started going tremendously high. It plays out in the newspapers historically, there were lawsuits filed, and it was just kind of an interesting time to be in San Antonio. But what we learned is that you have to be diversified in this industry. You can't be locked down to anything in terms of sourcing for supply. We don't even believe from our financial perspectives that we should be a single strategist. We look at many different strategies to diversify our activities. So basically what you see is, as you go through from the top row down to the second row, we have focused on making sure diversification is our major talent. And so now, as I explained earlier, we have many different sources, and we're looking to the future about what our generation strategy should be, and how can we even diversify it even better. And I'll talk a little bit about some of our projects shortly. But before I do that, I want to talk a little bit about weather and the aspects of it relative to a distribution system. How many people are from Texas? So some of you. I mean, I think oftentimes we look at the East Coast and we look at the West Coast and we feel really, really happy that we're kind of neutralized. But I was recently talking to the rating agencies in New York, and I said, you know, it's been an interesting year. Early spring last year, we had tornadoes. Then we had floods. Then not necessarily accompanied solely with hurricanes. We just had, you know, the ground is very hard here, so we had floods. Then we had hurricanes. Then we ultimately had ice and snow. We haven't had snow that has stuck in San Antonio since 1985. And we had customers that live in other places and have come to San Antonio, and they said, I cannot believe San Antonio could be stopped by 2 inches of snow. But we love our trees. And so we have a lot of distribution lines. Trees and snow and ice don't always go together, and that was a challenge. Our systems came through for us, but it has been a year of weather incidences that have been challenging. So actually, one of those pictures even shows that one of our transmission lines was bent over like a horseshoe. That's how intense some of the weather was from tornadoes. So the activity of having to be a 24/7, 365 entity is a big deal. And we believe that even the weather conditions are going to be something bigger, and continue for some time. And so, we are really, really excited about how we can use technology to make our operations better in the future and continue to help us be more responsive. We've had great response times and restoration times, mostly because technology has helped us move past the actual physical incidents. Those are some pictures from it. And the next chart shows, again, the issues that we have. So I talked about, all that said, we got to keep looking about where we are going to go for the future. And we believe, and I think most people believe, that the future is in energy storage. And so we have been spending several years studying energy storage ourselves and partnering. We actually take trips across the nation and across the globe with our new energy economy partners. We have been studying with them what will energy storage look like. And it's the key, but nobody knows exactly, right? There's still a lot of technology options out there. I don't believe it's just going to be lithium ion. But all that said, we feel like we need to venture into it sooner rather than later. And so we are actually going to do a project. It's going to launch this year. And we are going to partner with the local research company, Southwest Research Institute, which is a global applied research entity. And we're going to create a 5-megawatt system with renewables. It'll be able to vacillate between a 5-megawatt 2-hour storage system to a 10-megawatt 1-hour storage system. So we're excited about that. We're going to use it for data and education, as well as an ability to actually put that power in the ERCOT grid. And Southwest Research Institute will take the data and work with DOE, and we'll really try to get our skills up in terms of dispatching that power and activity and really being able to augment it with our renewable strategy. This is what has made it viable is we got a grant from the TECQ, and that is going to help us leverage the cost, because still energy storage is an expensive proposition. The pricing is coming down a lot. But with the grant that offset the project, we were able to get this done and really kind of immerse ourselves with overmatching. I think the whole project is about $12 million, and we got $3 million from the grant. So that was really the kicking over point for us, and then we hope to be able to do a lot more after this one. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about solar. So we have about over 500, I would say 500 plus megawatts of solar. And that is utility scale. But we also have other programs. We have rooftop solar. We have many efforts across the system to work with local installers. And we have a very robust rebate program. We have community solar. So what this is, we did our first venture last year with 1 megawatt of community solar. It's sold out immediately. And now we're going to add 5 megawatts of community solar. That's launching right now, and we're going to put it inside and across the inner part of San Antonio. So we will continue to support solar, because solar, ultimately coupled with energy storage, will make a difference for our community. So, and then everybody's talking about smart city. We believe that here in San Antonio, we are uniquely suited to be able to do smart city well, and we believe that the strength of being owned by the city, and they are focused on smart city, our ability to be a sister entity to many other entities across San Antonio, the water system, the transportation system, education, we are all connected, trying to think about what we want smart city to be. Now, I still also believe that smart city needs to be customized to the community in which it serves. But we've got everybody at the table, from the mayor, council members, CEOs, and the general public working with us to figure out what we want smart city to be. So we are excited, and we are going to venture into that, and we expect to get our foundation built this year. See? And getting close. What I did is I started last year a symposium, and it's the Future of Energy Symposium for San Antonio. And the point is, Probably about 5 years ago, if I talked to anyone about energy, their eyes would glaze over and they would be totally uninterested in talking about energy. But now what I've been able to do is generate interest. So we have our senior chiefs get together, we talk about where the future is, we talk about what entities are doing across the industry and where it can go and how it can change people's lives, how it can enable creativity, technology, flexibility, all of those things. And so we spend about a half a day talking about what energy could be. And we invite the general public, we invite educators, business people, civic leaders from across the city, and we bring in some speakers from across the nation. We did it last year in January. We have it scheduled and set. Everything is in place. We're going to do it again in February, at the end of February. And we will keep this up. The real point is to get people interested because it takes, again, a community support to figure out where energy will ultimately go. So I wanted to mention that. And I think I saw Kimberly here. Very good. Kimberly Britton, will you stand up so people can pounce on you later? Kimberly is actually leading the Epicenter. It is a new entity that we have. Here's the key. We had a gas plant that is centralized downtown and actually has a beautiful space on the river, which is kind of in the South Bank. And we decommissioned that plant about over 10 years ago. And we've been trying to figure out what should it be. My predecessor had an idea that it could be a central point globally to be talking about thought leadership in the energy industry, talking about new technologies, bringing in and convening people, and it's going to be a totally refurbished plant there with convening areas, an innovation center, development with other technology entities, more to come. But if you look up in the website of Epicenter, you can really see the vision there. And Kimberly would gladly tell you about what we're doing to work through that. We are big sponsors. Our New Energy Economy partners are big sponsors. We are excited about that, and we really want to bring more people into this discussion about how to do it right. So my last slide is this one. I actually, it's so simple, but today, you know, I have people that are very passionate about what they think. Of course, I have environmental leaders that are passionate about more, you know, more renewables. And I have people who traditionally understand the reliability benefits of thermal generation. But I like to tell them, we do it all. We're diversified. Electrons love everyone. They don't care about your religion. They don't care about what food you like. They don't care about anything of that sort. They just go where they're needed. And for our perspective, that's what we want to do. We go where we're needed, and we are very much interested in really serving everyone. That said, we are glad that you are here, and we are glad to entertain everyone here, and we are very, very excited that you're here in San Antonio. So thank you very much. I'm really going to end with that. I want you to have a great day. I will be in and out. Please stop me, but have a good time. You're going to have really great content over this conference. Thank you.